Welcome back to the Takeover. That's the intro. It's welcome back to the Takeover with a sip of coffee. Okay, so this is a special edition, okay? This isn't going to be a normal episode. So, this is going to be, this is the Takeover podcast, Sports History Episode 1. That's what it is. So I'm going to do sports history episodes every once in a while. So if you're a fan, dope. Fucking check it out, and we'll throw it in there, and it's going to be in the group. Episode 11 of the Takeover will still come out in the next couple of days. But this is going to be Sports History number 1, Episode 1. I'm excited for it because I want to start doing some of these episodes. And, ladies, sorry if you're not into it, but still listen because, you get to hear my voice, and, it could just be you and me, and we're hanging out. We're having a couple drinks. We're having fun. I laugh a little bit, but is it a real laugh or is it just me kind of feeling myself laugh? We make eye contact and, maybe we hit it off. I don't know. Maybe we continue to do it and we get married and have kids. Either way, this is what it would be like if it's just you and me. Anyways, that's a good enough reason to still listen. And some of you women can still be sports fans. I know that, doing this is, maybe you're not into it, but it doesn't matter. I'm not even worried. I'm not going to go into my insecurities like I do sometimes and talk about the things that might go wrong or why this isn't a good idea. This is what I want to fucking do. So welcome to Sports History Episode 1. And this week's episode, we're going to strictly talk about the 1998 baseball season. For those of you who are around, if you were around, if you weren't around, that's kind of crazy. I guess, how old would you be? You'd be 22 right now. So you got to know some baseball history. Baseball, I feel like, isn't as popular as it was in the 90s. 90s baseball was the mecca of baseball. I mean, it was the best era of baseball from what I've observed. I mean, I don't follow baseball as close as I used to, but it's been ruined for me for multiple reasons that I'll go into in other episodes. I guess those would be other ideas. But baseball in the 90s was the best. It was so exciting for so many multiple reasons. But the most exciting reason is the 98 season. To me, that's the best baseball season in history. I'm telling you right now, the best season in history is the 1998 baseball season. Okay, and I got some notes here that I'll go over. But here's the thing about 98 baseball. Okay. Baseball in general, when you're watching baseball, nobody really cares about the games. Okay, there's 162, so they don't have a lot of meaning. All right, sometimes you'll watch for pitcher matchups, right? Or maybe your favorite team, or Boston Red Sox, Yankees are playing each other. Those are always great matchups, even when they're not good. You know what I mean? There's that rivalry. But baseball, the stakes are so low, it doesn't even matter. And basketball, people will say basketball has that a little bit, but not really, because there are still some big games. You're like, oh, let's watch this. Even though there's 82 games, there are still big regular season games. Not as much, but there still are. Baseball, not really. Not until late fucking August, September, you're like, this is a big series. If they can take 2 of 1, 2 of 3 out of here, they can make a playoff run or whatever. You know what I mean? But this was a fucking season where you were watching every game for the most part. Because in 1998, you had the home run race between Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. Okay? And someone had mentioned, I posted a clip of the impressions, which I'll put up right now. Or not right now, later on in the episode. But this is the greatest season of all time because you were glued in to every single game because you wanted to see what was happening. That's how amazing this fucking season was. And if you were alive, you remember it. You remember it like no other season. It's actually unbelievable. As I was going through all of the old footage, I was getting chills just watching it. I can't tell you how amazing. Go through some of the videos I'm going to post are from YouTube, and I don't know, I'm not going to go and give credit through all of them, but if you just YouTube these videos, you can find a bunch of them yourself. But it's honestly amazing how big of a season it was for baseball in general. Baseball had a strike in 94, so I wasn't too big in baseball because at the time I was 10, so I wasn't I didn't really understand what was going on, and people said that killed baseball, and then they say this season, the 1998 season, saved baseball, which is fucked because if you look back, people are like, oh, it's a fucked era because of steroids. These guys from just this season, these two guys should be in the Hall of Fame. Fuck steroids, fuck everything else that goes involved in it. they're so historic just based off this season. Like that alone, they should be in the Hall of Fame. Okay, let alone their numbers. Even if you took 200 fucking home runs away from Sammy Sosa, he should still be in the fucking Hall of Fame. You could argue Mark McGwire, you take away 200 home runs, was he a Hall of Fame baseball player? That is an argument, fine. But because of this season, even with the steroids, it's just so historic. They should be a part of what the Hall of Fame of baseball is, okay? Fucking cheating's in everything, okay? So fuck that. But we'll get more into that, okay? But to start, I'm gonna go into like all the details about this fucking season. I'm already fucking hyped. I'm so excited. It could be the coffee kicking in. We don't know yet. But here's the deal. I fucking am excited. This is the most exciting. I'm stuttering all over the place because that's how excited I am. Because maybe I'm nervous. Okay, so here's the deal. 97. And on top of that, I don't want to go too much into the steroids because the season wasn't about steroids. Steroids didn't come in until about like 2003. Then it started becoming a thing. And at that point, I'm in college, and I'm learning that Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa took steroids. So I took steroids. I'm going to take steroids. Why not? If they're doing it, I can do it. So they influenced me to do steroids. And I know they don't want to hear that, and people don't want to hear that and think that maybe their kids are being influenced by athletes, which they are, obviously. But if it wasn't for them, maybe I didn't do steroids. I was doing steroids too. Was I a professional baseball player or playing college ball? No, but I was going to be on the beach for spring break. Check it out. That's a picture. That's me in the middle with the sunglasses, spiked hair. We all kind of look similar. But boy, did I gain 25 fucking pounds. I sure did. And I fucking did push-ups and I lifted weights. Dude, I was able to put up 225 like 10 times. How old was I? 17 years ago? You do the math. Not even 20? Maybe 21? I don't know. I can't do the math. But either way, thank you, Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, okay? But I don't want to go too much into steroids. We'll get because that's not what this is about. This is just about the historic season of the 1998 baseball season, okay? Now, going back into the history of this, the year before, I think this is important to bring up just to show how great of home run hitters these guys were. First of all, they end the season. Mark McGwire ends the year with 70 home runs. 70. That's fucking 9 more than what the record was, okay? 9 is a lot. It's not fucking points like basketball. 9 home runs more. So that's like an average baseball player, even right now, a good month for home runs is 7 to 10. I think the records are like 14 or 15 in a month. I think like certain guys get hot or whatever. But like if you hit 7 home runs in a month, that's incredible. So this guy broke the record at the beginning of September. So that's already fucking crazy. Mark McGwire ended the year with 70. Sammy Sosa ended with 66. But this fucking home run race was on TV every fucking day. Okay, the year before, this is what's crazy. Mark McGwire hit 58 home runs. He was already belting them. All right, throughout his whole career. His rookie year, he hit 49 home runs, which was a rookie record. A rookie record. I don't know if it still is or if someone else broke that in the time. I'm not really positive. Somebody would have to fact check that for me. But he hit 58. The year before, Sammy Sosa hit 36. They're both home run hitters in the league. You're hitting 30-plus home runs in baseball, you're a home run hitter. Okay? Sammy Sosa's a superstar at this point. Mark McGwire, it's his first season with the Cardinals, which I didn't even know. Looking back up in the history of this, I thought he was just a Cardinal for a while. I thought he left the Cardinals like in 93 or something. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was earlier he left the Cardinals from the Athletics. But he was a fucking already a home run hitter. They're both stars in the baseball going into the late 90s, okay? And the Cubs are good. They're competitive. I don't believe the Cardinals were not competitive at the time. For such a great organization, not until Pujols arrives do they really get in the midst of like going on those championship runs they had. Okay, if you notice this, first of all, this is why I want to, it's almost like I'm defending them too. Because people will talk shit because of the steroid thing, which I don't want to go into. But like, first of all, look at these guys go. I mean, first of all, look at their swings.
With 30 homers, 76 runs batted in. High fastball. See you later.
High drive, straight away center. Sammy plays long ball, and I mean long ball.
They both have unique, beautiful swings. These guys are both some of the best hitters in history. Like, if you break down baseball and you're a huge baseball fan, you have to know how hard it is to even fucking hit a ball. Okay, these guys. First of all, it's not even strength. Strength, sure, gets the ball out of the park, right? But it's your hand-eye coordination. Like, literally, they were seeing the ball so well. Look at their swings. Look at these swings. I'll pull it. I'll pull it up. Okay. Not only that, not only do they have unique swings, their batting stances are incredible, uncomfortable. Because I've been in their batting stance. It's not comfortable. It's always weird when somebody has a batting stance that doesn't look comfortable. Because you're like, how does he do it? But they find a way to get power through their legs. Okay? But not only that, bro, they were hitting fucking bombs. I mean, bombs. Even now, they've fucked with the baseballs. I don't know if they've come out and said this in the MLB. But, like, the baseballs, I think they've done something so that there are more home runs now. It's so stupid. I'm going off on a side rant right now. It's so stupid that baseball would fucking fuck this up. They should have fucking buried it under the rug, and baseball would be so popular right now because of all the home runs that would be going on right now. And there's another side argument I have is like, why does nobody ever go after other athletes in sports? Because there's steroids in other sports. Of course there are. Because an offensive lineman on steroids, there's no like stats of like, oh, he's been fucking pancaking everybody. Like, that doesn't fucking matter. A quarterback on steroids doesn't throw more touchdowns. It's not like a strength thing. He still has to have great accuracy and the run, and the wide receiver still has to catch the ball. And same with the wide receiver. They might take like a Winstrol or like a steroid that fucking makes them faster or quicker. You still have to catch the ball. And it's just not like a performance thing. Like golf, maybe. Like if golfers were all of a sudden all driving the ball 500 yards, then people would be like, what the fuck's going on? So that's why I don't think it's a big deal. At the end of the day, you still have to shoot a fucking three-pointer really good. Steroids won't help that. Baseball, you still have to be able to hit a ball. But with steroids, you can fucking hit it further. With steroids, you're not fucking shooting a basketball harder. You're just shooting it still with finesse. Whew. So that's another sidetrack. But anyways, these guys are fucking hitting bombs. Look at some of these home runs. I mean, they're fucking out of the park. Some of them are out of park. Of course, Wrigley was easy to hit out of the park. A lot of these home runs I've noticed from my research, call me out, maybe I'm wrong, but if you notice, a lot of McGwire's home runs are a lot in early inning home runs, first, second, third inning, and late inning home runs, 7th, 8th, 9th. The reason that is fastballs, more fastballs. Some of these guys are some of the best fastball hitters in history. Okay. Nobody's throwing breaking balls. They're not striking them out right now. You see a fastball, they're on top of it. They're hitting it out. You're getting a lot of fastballs in the beginning innings because pitchers are not tight. They have energy and they're giving them their fastball. And then late in the innings, closers throw hard. That's why they're in there. They're there because people can't hit their 98-mile-per-hour fastball. McGwire could. Okay, and a lot of these things you notice too is a lot of these pitchers like are going after them. They're like, nah, man, I want to fucking strike this motherfucker out. Like, I want to try. That's the competitive nature. These pitchers are like, no, I'm going to fucking strike this guy out, and then what's up? What are you going to do? That didn't happen with Bonds, which would be another episode in itself. But if you go look at Bonds' fucking year, he broke records with how many times he was intentionally walked. That's how crazy of a fucking hitter that guy was. Bonds was so unstoppable that people were like, dude, we'll fucking walk this guy with bases loaded. Do you know how fucking insane that is? To walk somebody with bases loaded? That there's not a pitcher on the fucking mound or in the bullpen that you're like, nah, he could strike him out. They're like, nah, this guy's probably going to hit a grand slam, or at the very least, he's going to hit a sacrifice fly maybe, but why even risk that? Let's just fucking give them the run that they're going to get. They're going to get a run no matter what with this guy at bat. No matter where the ball goes, they're going to get a run. Okay, so if there's not 2 outs, we don't have a big lead, let's fucking walk him. You could look that up. He was walked with bases loaded. So, I mean, nobody wanted to pitch to Barry Bonds. But this was before, I mean, there's actually a video, I'll try to find it and put it in here, of when the Cardinals are playing the San Francisco Giants, and you see Barry Bonds in the outfield just watching one of the balls go over his head.
Deep into left center field, and forget about it. He's got it.
And in his head, he's probably like, what the fuck is this guy on? I need to hop on this shit. Because 98, then 2000, 2001, here comes Bonds, just fucking tearing it up. Bonds was also always kind of a home run hitter. He was getting home runs later on in his career anyways, so it just enhanced that. So he's still, without a doubt, is one of the greatest baseball players to ever play the game. So anyways, that being said, what was I talking about? The pitches. He's hitting a lot of these guys are good fastball hitters, but people were still pitching to them. They wanted to fucking try to strike him out because it was like, yo, all eyes were on these guys. So if you're a pitcher, you're like, yo, I'm going to fucking try to strike this motherfucker out. Fuck that, dude. You're a competitor. You're like, yo, nobody's going to fucking tell me I can't strike someone out. They were going at him. So they're seeing a lot of fastballs because guys are trying to get it by them. So because of that, backfires, and these guys are getting these fucking mean fastballs that they're fucking slamming out of the park. Okay? Here's what's one of the greatest things about it is Mark McGwire was so strong. He's so fucking strong. Here's a video. He's so fucking strong. He can hit
from somebody. It just happens to come down the middle.
McGwire hits it a long way to center. It's gone.
Outside pitch out of the park to center field. Do you know how fucking hard that is? Okay? If players now are trained and learned like to take outside pitches the opposite way. But which shows a lot of strength. Someone like Miguel Cabrera, when he was on the Marlins early on in his career, I would watch him do that a lot. He was really good at it. Mike Stanton is really good at it right now, or Giancarlo Stanton on the Yankees. Another Marlin player. I follow the Marlins, so that's why I know so much about these guys. But if you watch some of his home runs, the year he hit like 59, that was a good home run year. He was hitting opposite field home runs. He was the second guy I've ever seen so strong to hit an outside pitch to center field. That's incredibly amazing. To take an outside pitch and fucking be able to just even pull it enough to go to fucking center field. That's so crazy. Mark McGwire was doing that on the regular, okay? Most guys are trained to just go with the pitch and hit it opposite field. You know, maybe if there's a player on second, you could score, right? If there's a guy on second or third, easy RBI. Go with it. Don't try to do anything. Even if there's a guy on third, it's a sac fly, even if it's shallow. You could even just get it out there enough for he could tag up, okay? But these guys were, dude, also an outside pitch, you're not getting all your strength in it. So to even hit an outside pitch out of the park, that's fucking crazy. That's already hard enough. It's very, like anytime a coach or scout or anyone is watching a game and a baseball player hits an opposite field home run, that means it was an outside pitch that they went with and it went over the fence. Whether you're lefty or righty and you hit it opposite way, that's power. You're already like, well, this guy's got some power. Now, if that guy is taking, if it's a lefty or righty, taking an outside pitch to center fucking field, dude, I can't even explain to you how hard that is. People would say the hardest thing in all of sports is to hit a home run, hit a ball out of the park. That's one of the harder things to do. People will argue maybe a hole in one. I don't know. A lot of I know people who aren't great athletes that have hit hole in ones. Okay. Whatever your argument is, hitting a ball out of the park, that let alone being one of the hardest things. Now try doing that with an outside pitch to center field. It's fucking unbelievable. So just to let you know how amazing McGwire was as a hitter. Okay. This is what that caught my eye going back because I didn't remember this detail about that year, but one of the things from my experiences watching it is I remember every day coming home from school or every day I couldn't wait to see what was going to happen that day. Like, that's how exciting it was. And I don't remember any sport really doing that. You know what I mean? Like, football's once a week, but like every day I was like, oh, let's watch ESPN because by June, ESPN or all the channels are trying to air Mark McGwire. By June, Mark McGwire is selling out stadiums. This is what's phenomenal. There's not another baseball player since that time, or probably Barry Bonds was doing it a little bit. But in baseball, first of all, in baseball there isn't anyone who was selling out stadiums, dude. Like a rock star, like a fucking band. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. He was going on the road and parks were selling out.
Line drive left field corner, and there it is.
number 32.
There it goes! See you later, Upper Deck McGwire! Oh, my! Spent about a half hour with him today. And there it goes! There it goes! Number 34!
Here's the 2-2. Off-speed pitch. Oh, my goodness. How far is this one going? Wow! Over the end of the scoreboard.
Like he came to fucking Miami. I went to one of the games. I went to the game where he hit number 57 and 58. I was at that game. And he hits 2 home runs that game. Dude, the stadium is almost sold out. I was at the 97 World Series earlier that October, Game 7. I was there, fucking packed. One of the highest attended World Series at the time ever, okay? Because it was in a football stadium. I was there, packed. The only other time I've ever seen it that packed was when McGwire came into town and you wanted to fucking watch him hit a home run. You were like, this motherfucker, our team better let him hit a home run. That's crazy. Like, he had people making signs for him on the road, like, go McGwire. Like, he had fucking, what's the biggest? He had Cub fans. He had Red fans. People in the same division as the fucking Cardinals were, like, holding signs like, go McGwire. He was the hero in this thing. I think more people were definitely going for McGwire for some reason. But it was tight. At one point, I think there was 1 week where Sosa had the lead on McGwire, but then McGwire just went on a run and pretty much always had the lead, and it always seemed like he was the one who was going to break it first, which was Roger Maris's 61 home runs. Which, another side note, that was the craziest baseball year too. Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle had a home run race going on the same team, and then Mickey Mantle got sick. But that was an incredible year. Since then, this was the next best thing. But I can't imagine what that was like. So here we go, because that was the Roger Maris 61 year was with Mickey Mantle to break Babe Ruth. And at that time, he was the god of baseball. So here we are now. This is the most exciting record that's going to be broken between Sosa and McGwire. And it's so popular that, like, McGwire, by June, most of their games are on TV. The game, I would love for someone to bring up the stat of, like, how many people viewed the Cardinals Cubs series, like in late in September. Like, I guarantee, because I'm pretty sure here there is a video. I'll put this video up. McGwire ties Roger Maris or ties Babe Ruth against the Cubs.
Down the left field line. Is it enough? Gone! There it is! 62! Touch first, Mark. You are the new single-season home run king.
Like, that was probably the most watched baseball game in history up to that point. I would go as far to say that. More than any World Series. That's how exciting it was. Everybody was glued to the TV. It was fucking incredible, dude. And this guy's selling out tickets. Like I went to that Marlins game for him. That's why I went. We were like, yo, we got to go see this. By the end of August, you knew he was going to break the record. By the beginning of August, at that point, you're like, because they would show, because back then it wasn't the internet. So you're getting the newspaper. I remember I get the newspaper every day, and I'd pull it up, and they would show where was Roger Maris at this point? Where was Babe Ruth at this point? Where was Mickey Mantle at this point? It was so big. It was such big news that they would give you like a little chart to show you like where his pace was. By August, you were like, there's no doubt. You're like, this guy's gonna fucking crush the record. He's easily gonna get the record, even if he goes on a slump. So he was selling out stadiums, which is incredible today because nobody in baseball, even when like Giancarlo Stanton was hitting like 59 the other year for the Marlins, like nobody cared. Nobody, like, when they were on the road and visiting other stadiums, people were like, yo, let's go see this guy hit home runs. Nobody like gave a shit. Like another, like, I'm trying to think individual baseball players that were actually selling tickets on the road. I mean, Hideo Nomo, which is another episode to go into, when he first came onto the scene with the Dodgers and he threw like 2 no-hitters in 2 years, like people were kind of coming out to see him a little bit, but probably not as much on the East Coast, but nothing like this, bro. I mean, bro, this guy could have went on a solo tour by himself. Like, it was incredible how many people are fucking coming to watch him. That are like, you never see that in baseball, dude. It's unbelievable. I mean, in football you don't see that either because every game's sold out anyways in all markets. Football's so big, and basketball you do see it. Like people, like LeBron sells tickets, dude. Everybody wants to go see LeBron. You want to go see LeBron? He's gonna sell tickets. Zion's gonna be like that too. He's gonna come to your town and you're gonna be like, yo, let's go see Zion. Hopefully he turns out to be that. Not even Durant has that as much. Nobody has that as much as LeBron in basketball. Like, he has that draw, that rock star draw of like, oh, he's in town, let's go see him. Obviously, Jordan had it. Jordan had it the most. He was the first one to do it. If you're watching the documentary series, like they built a new stadium. That's how popular he was. But they showed a little bit how he was on the road and people like they were going to see him. This is how it was for McGwire. He was fucking selling out every stadium. The fact that the Marlins had 60,000 plus to go watch a losing team, because in 98 we had the worst record ever post our fucking World Series. The worst record in baseball had 60,000 plus at the fucking game. And we're all like, motherfucker, nothing matters. Throw him a fastball down the middle, and he hits 57, 58, and 59 in Florida over a 3-game series. It was unbelievable. Yeah, I was at that Marlins game. That one's done, guys. So a couple other things. Yeah, I do get chills watching this after. Oh, so then another thing I noticed after McGwire hits 61, this is what I think. This is hilarious. We'll put this first. We'll go into this shot. People don't make signs for opposing pitchers. Oh, okay. So, oh yeah, the video of the Marlins game when this fucking idiot goes for the ball and takes a fall. We got to look at that one.
High fly ball. Leaving Levon far behind Mark McGwire.
This is hilarious. Okay. Don't be an idiot. Like, nobody was behind you. He acted like there was 400 people, but if you see the second home run, everybody rushes out. This guy was out there. People wanted a ball so bad back then.
It's number 56.
These fans here in South Florida realize the importance of that blast.
High fly ball, deep center field. Way back. 57.
It doesn't even matter because they thought it would be worth money. But here it is. Like I was saying earlier, people were throwing them fucking pitches. They wanted to try to strike him out. After he hits 61, I think that if it's late in a game and you have a big lead or you're out of it, you're not going to come back, I think guys were just like, I want to be a part of history. Why not? Why not let him hit one off me? You know what I mean? I want to be the pitcher who threw him number 62. 62? You're in the record books forever. 60, all of those pitchers, all the pitchers' names. You could probably Google who gave a home run up to Mark McGwire. All 70 home runs. You can pull up all those pitchers' names. Why not? Let's join it. If it's not a situation where like you got to get 3 outs to get a win. If you're up you're telling me right now. Listen, I played sports. I'm competitive. I'm competitive too. But if it's September and we're not making the playoffs, or we already clinched the playoffs. Because, listen, 62 through 70, those fucking 9 home runs all happened in the last 3 weeks of baseball. Okay? So, at this point, the playoffs are set. Back then, there's just 4 teams on each seed. Each league make the playoffs. Only 4 teams. You got the division winners. At this point, you pretty much know who's going to the division, win the division, then you have the wild card. Okay? At this point, a lot of people know what's going to happen in the next 3 weeks. You're telling me if you're playing the Cardinals and you have a big lead, or you don't have, or you're losing, and you're facing McGwire in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning, and you're a pitcher, you're not just gonna be like, I'll fucking throw one over the plate. Not soft. You're still throwing it like 90. If you're a pitcher and you could throw a 94-mile-per-hour fastball and you throw one about like 90, and he just sits on it and takes it out of the park, part of you's like, oh, cool. I was a part of this whole thing. I was a part of the whole thing. Why not? I'm just saying. I'm a competitive player. Some of you might be like, no way, bro. I'm always trying to win. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up about that. You know what I mean? What's cooler? What's cooler to tell your grandchildren? Hey, you know, did you see that episode of The Takeover? Sports history? About the 98 baseball season Michael Lenoci was talking about? You know, I was one of those pitchers. I mean, at this point, that guy's 20. He could be his kids. He could have a kid that's 21 years old watching this. And he'd be like, yeah, I was one of those pitchers. I threw home run number 64. That's fucking cool. As opposed to, oh, cool. Oh, Dad, you played in the majors? Yeah. Yeah, I played 4 seasons for the Pirates. You know, I won like 25 games over those 4 seasons. Never won a World Series. No, it wasn't good enough to be in the Hall of Fame or anything. You know, just I played it. I made it to that level. I was that good. Cool. What's like the coolest thing? I walked McGwire one time. One time McGwire got a double off me. Nobody cares. Did you face any great players? Yeah, I faced them all. Struck out some great players. Oh, you struck out Barry Bonds one time? Yeah. Struck out Gary Sheffield. A lot of cool guys. Oh, that's kind of cool. But I did give up a home run to Mark McGwire that year. He hit 70. His 64th home run. Really? You did? Yeah. That's fucking crazy. You gave up one of the home runs from the 70 home runs? Yeah. That's probably the coolest thing you've ever done. Yeah, I guess looking back, that is the coolest thing in my history. Okay. Doesn't that make sense? Why would you not? End of argument there. Oh, yeah. Both guys, because of that, and I started the episode like this, but I have that both guys need to be in the Hall of Fame because of that fucking season. I think that when the writers from my generation become Hall of Fame voters, I think that could change. I just think they should, as well as Pete Rose, he should fucking be in the Hall of Fame. I don't give a fuck that he gambled. I don't give a fuck. That guy fucking has the most hits in history. Oh, the guy who has the most of the one thing you're supposed to do in the whole game. What's the point of the game? To hit the ball? Yeah. How do you play baseball? Well, there's a lot of rules, but like, what's the main part of baseball? Oh, you hit the ball. Oh, you hit the ball. What's the main thing of basketball? Shoot the basket in the net. Oh, so the guy who scored the most in history, he should be in the Hall of Fame for basketball, right? Yeah, of course. Okay. So the guy who scored the most touchdowns in football ever, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Of course, yeah. Cool. Yeah. And in baseball, the guy who gets the most hits ever, regardless of what he did, regardless if he even fucking killed his wife, which he didn't. OJ did in the Hall of Fame. Hit the ball the most. He's not in the Hall. Why is he not in the Hall of Fame? Oh, because he had an addiction. He had an addiction to like drugs and stuff. No. Drugs. That people are sympathetic for that. They have empathy for that. But he had an addiction with money because he made a lot and he liked to like lose it a lot. Oh, like Jordan? Yeah, like Jordan. But he didn't bet on basketball, Jordan. Oh, cool. But still an addiction, right? Yeah, an addiction. Cool. But he's not in the Hall of Fame, and he has the most hits ever? Ever. Is anyone close? Not even close. No one's even close. Crazy, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. That could be a whole nother episode. A whole nother episode I could do about Pete fucking Rose. I don't want to do too many baseball episodes because, like, I want to switch it up, do football, basketball. But, I mean, dude, I could talk 90s baseball forever. I mean, there's so many amazing things that happened in 90s baseball. I could talk 90s baseball forever, and then I could talk basketball from 90s on. And then I could talk football. 90s football was amazing, dude. 90s football was amazing, too. But let's stick on track, okay? I talked about how amazing Bonds was in comparison to this. Even though Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire are crazy and amazing at this, the fact that they were like, I mean, some of the fucking hits that that McGwire and Sosa, you're like, they didn't even have to pitch to them. Why are they pitching to them in that situation? It was ridiculous. Okay, but yeah, I if I'm a pitcher, I'm fucking giving up a home run. Okay, this one. As much as I'm not a fan of Joe Buck sometimes, he fucking pisses me off. I gotta love the call against Sosa when he hits number 60. I think when he hits 61, actually, and ties Roger Maris. That's it. It's this clip. I just love the fucking call. It gives me chills listening to it, and I'll give it to you guys right here. It's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. It's a great call, and as much as people hate on Joe Buck, he's fucking good, dude. There's a reason he's working. There's a reason he's in there, and I think you really appreciate announcers later on when you hear their call, and you grew up with it. And then you hear it, you're like, oh man, he was good. You hate it sometimes, but like I hate Joe Buck when he was like, for example, maybe I could show the footage when he was like, that's just disgusting when Randy Moss does.
Culpepper, Moss. Randy Moss is in for a touchdown.
Oh, Al Harris playing off, bit up on the route, and Randy Moss, without even really being able to run, as he shoots the moon to the fans here in Green Bay.
That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss, and it's unfortunate.
The mooning thing in Green Bay, that's when I lose it with Joe Buck. I'm like, you're a fucking pussy, bro. He's fucking taunting them. Let him do that. It's fucking chill, okay? But he pulls down his pants, and Randy Moss scores a touchdown, and he fucking moons the Packers fans. You know, in Green Bay, they would fucking jump up in the stands. It was funny. Joe Buck's like, and that's just disgusting. That's just uncalled for. It's like, shut the fuck up, Joe. You know what I mean? Jerk off on your wife or something. Do something fun. You know, what do you have, missionary sex every fucking Sunday? On God's day? On God's day you don't? Whatever. Don't be a pussy. Either way, I give him credit for this call. Here it is. If I haven't played it already, I'll do it again in the edits. It's fucking amazing. Okay. And then we get to the fucking, this part's juicy. This part's juicy. I wonder what you guys are going to think. Okay. This part gets a little bit juicy. Here we go. This part's juicy because it's like, okay, look, he hits fucking when he breaks Roger Maris's record, which already which ironically is the shortest home run. I remember watching this live. Everybody was just like, the fact is, after he hits the Sosa one, the clip, after he hits that one, every fucking game, everybody's glued on their seats watching every minute. You want to see this part. You want to be a part of the history. I'm getting chills just talking about it. It was so fucking exciting. And you're watching it, and I remember just being like, I wanted to be like one of the home runs he had previously had. Because some of those ones he hit, you was just like an explosion. Like some of the clips have been shown, he hit a home run, and it was just like, oh, it's gone. You knew it was gone. This one, it's weird because he hits it. Watch, you'll see it. He hits it, and then there's that little hesitation where you're like, because nobody was like, wait, is it going to make it over? And it just makes it over the lip. And then he's just fucking so excited. He almost misses first base. He knew what he was doing. He wasn't the most charismatic star, and baseball players didn't, you know, they're not like basketball players. Sosa was a little bit more interesting, but I think he had a bad relationship with the reporters. But he was just like you saw the joy in him. You saw him as a little kid being like, oh my God, that record that I just broke was the biggest thing that we would talk about in all of baseball. That's all everybody would always talk about Roger Maris at 61 and talk about how Roger Maris, he had a few good years in the Yankees and then we never heard of him again. But his family was there. His fucking family's there. After Roger Maris does it, after Mark McGwire, he breaks the record, comes in, picks up his son, kisses his son on the lip, which is another, you know, Tom Brady does it too. Why are we kissing our kids on the lip? Whatever. People are like, it's love. Okay. Kiss him on the cheek. You know, I don't know. Lips, I fucking identify your lips with sex. You fucking kiss me on the lip, I'm going to have sex with you. That's what it is. So you're going to kiss me on the lip? Mom, Dad, kiss me on the lip. I might try to hook up with you. That's all I'm saying. Let's get rid of that. Let's just kiss and hug, okay? You think I had problems? I didn't. I had a good, nice, normal childhood. We didn't fucking kiss on the lips. We hugged. Sometimes we said I love you. You shouldn't always be saying I love you anyways if you're a fucking parent. Sometimes say I love you. Make your kids think, do they love me still? You want people to think that maybe they don't love you anymore. I don't know. But don't kiss on the lips. So he fucking does that, and then he goes, and Roger Maris had passed away at this point. I don't know when Roger Maris died. Really wasn't a famous athlete, really, besides that season. It's kind of sad. If you ever watched the documentary, the Billy Crystal movie, 61, it's incredible. I love it. One of my favorite movies. But he's not there. His family goes up and hugs the kids. Who knows what they say? We could probably find out. Talks to them and stuff. It's dark. It's dark because now you know. Now you know that Mark McGwire was juicing, and I'll bring up the steroids. I said I wasn't, but it's just like, it's like the murderer is hugging the victims' kids afterwards, and they don't know. That's what it's like. That's what it's like. It's ooh. It's watching it. When I watched it, I go, ooh. They don't know. They don't know yet. Because afterwards, I think I remember something of them being like upset, being like, he fucking took that from our father, or they all took that from our father. I don't think they find out for years later. But in that moment, that was cool what McGwire did. Also, everybody was on fucking steroids, so who gives a shit? They were all enhanced. The pitchers were too. That was so annoying too. Here I am going on about the roids. Fucking people were so upset at the hitters. More of the pitchers were doing it. So fuck off. And pitchers were just fucking throwing harder and shit. So that part though, how does that make you feel? Him hugging the fucking kid, take him out. He's not in the Hall of Fame. That's what I was thinking. He doesn't deserve it because he hugged Rod. He should have, if he knew what he was doing, he should have fucking rounded the bases, and then he picks up his kid, fucking shakes him, hugs him, kisses him normal, and the Roger kids, he goes, that's it. Just kind of like doesn't do anything intimate with him. The fact that he did something intimate, like he would, like, it makes it a little wrong. But, I can't tell you enough how amazing that season was. You could do your own research, but I think it was fucking pretty incredible. I mean, just from watching the footage and stuff, it was unbelievable. And after McGwire breaks Roger Maris's record and hits 62, then it's like the hype is over. And then people are just like, well, how many is going to hit? You're keeping an eye on it, but that ended. That day, it ended. You're like, that's what we saw it for. And then even when Sosa does it, you're like, but who cares? Poor Sosa's up here like, hey, man, I hit 62. And people are like, yeah, you got SportsCenter's top play for the night, but I didn't watch it live. I don't remember any of Sosa's home runs. After that, I don't remember any of the other home runs. We're done. We won. We saw the end of the film. You know what I mean? It was over. It was Back to the Future 3. It was, it was Back to the Future 2. He hit it. I'm like, oh, you're going to have a Back to the Future 3? I guess I'll watch it. It's not as good as the first two. It's a pretty fucking incredible season. It's the greatest season ever. And I get fucking pumped just looking at it. So many great home runs. Look how big he was, man. He was a big motherfucker. But I think that was exciting. And yeah, what do you guys? What else do you guys want to hear? Huh? Are you guys fans? Are you guys fans of sports? Because we could do more of this. I think yeah, we'll do. I'll do more of these. I'll try to do sports history episodes once a week, maybe a couple times a month at least. And I've already had suggestions for some impressions you guys want me to do, because I did my Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa impression. I could do fucking impressions of a lot of 90s hitters. I can't do any today because I don't watch as much, but I'll do all the fucking 90s baseball players. I'll do Ken Griffey Jr., I'll do Cal Ripken's multiple batting stances, Mo Vaughn. I mean, I loved 90s baseball. We could do a whole fucking episode on the Atlanta Braves. The 90s Atlanta Braves. To me, I actually wanted to do an episode called The Biggest Disappointments in Sports History. And one of them would probably be the 90s Braves. They won the division 8 years in a row, 9 years in a row, one World Series. That's a little disappointing. At least they got their one. But I would say it's comparable to the 90s Bills, the early 90s, late 90s, the late 80s Bills. Go 4 in a row and not win one. Oh, that hurts. I feel for them a lot. That's why I don't hate them as much as I hate the Jets. Fuck the Jets for life. Fuck the Patriots. Fuck the Jets for life. Bills, I grew up, they went to 4 in a row. They would always beat us. Don't fuck them as much because they lost 4 in a row, and that's got to be painful. It's got to be so painful. And then in the late 90s, we were beating them a lot. So not fuck them as much, but still. I still want to do this. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts or whatever you listen to the Takeover on. Leave those 5-star reviews. Those really help. And check me out on YouTube. You subscribe, and you could watch this. There's obviously a lot of, for this episode, if you're listening, cool, but also you probably want to watch this episode on YouTube, so check that out. The Takeover with Michael Lenoci on YouTube, and it would be better to watch this episode. But that was fucking. I wanted to try this out, and this was for sure to me one of my favorite memories of as a kid, watching the 98 season. I mean, till this day, nothing will compete. Baseball, to me, is not what it was. And this was incredible. And, maybe let me know your opinions. What do you have? Give me suggestions. But that's this week's episode of Sports History. And if you did listen to this week's episode, the Takeover episode 11 will come out also this week. So there'll be that episode as well. Thanks for listening. Check out the Patreon/The Takeover. We've been getting more guests. There's different tiers. You guys get extra episodes a week and whatnot. And you get some other benefits. So check that out.